Welcome back. I'm Peter Schrager here in Atlanta. Both teams are trying to finish the season on winning streaks, but if you're looking for one player, it's Julio Jones. Julio Jones can break some records today. His single-season receiving record, as far as yards go, is held by Calvin Johnson. He needs 243 yards to break that. As far as catches goes, he needs 17 to break Marvin Harrison's. You might think that's crazy. The Saints are historically bad pass defense. I asked Julio Jones about these records, and in classic Julio Jones fashion, he says it's not even on his radar.
Thanks, Peter. But you know his teammates would love for him to get that record.
Yeah, they would. But, you know, Peter, that's perfect Julio Jones. His mindset is, let's win the game.
Yeah.
Let's get after this thing. I don't care how it happens. I don't care if I have one catch. I don't care if I have 30 catches. Let's win.
Saints will receive. The kick to Travaris Cadet, 8 yards deep. He takes a knee. And Drew Brees will lead his team out on the field. Last week he passed for over 400 yards. You see the numbers, 10 straight seasons of over 4,000 yards passing. Just a marvelous career. Over 60,000 yards passing in his career. One of 4 quarterbacks to reach that milestone. And the Saints start from the 20-yard line. Saints won the first meeting between these two teams 31-21 in New Orleans. And the carry by Tim Hightower for a couple of yards. Check out the Saints offensively. They've got some changes on the offensive line. Teron Armstead and Andrus Peat both out with injuries, so some changes up front. Austin Johnson, the fullback. Tim Hightower had a great game last week, a career game for him with over 120 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Travis Cadet now in the backfield with Brees, takes the short pass, and it's a first down for the Saints. Cadet, a former wide receiver and a good receiver out of the backfield. For the defense for the Atlanta Falcons, Vic Beasley, first-round draft pick out of Clemson. He'll be used in pass rushing situations. Paul Warlow is the man in the middle amongst the linebackers. In the big matchup, the rookie, Desmond Trufant, the second-year man, will be on Brandon Cooks a lot. That pass intended for Brandon Coleman, incomplete, with Robert Alford covering on the play.
So Sam, one of the biggest inactives that's really going to, I think, make a difference here is Teron Armstead. Armstead is one of the best offensive tackles that nobody knows about. He's a 3rd-round pick. He's been playing hurt, and he's been playing fantastic. And for him to not be in there, it's got to really be a painful deal.
On 2nd and 10, 3 tight ends in for the Saints. Hightower looking for an opening, gets a couple of yards before he's ridden down. Tyson Jackson leading the defensive charge, along with Joey Embu, a rookie out of Houston.
So Sam, we get to this down, 3rd and long. And this is not where the Saints wanted to be. But this is also a spot that is not unfamiliar to Drew Brees. And Drew Brees, to me, when you study him, what stands out more than anything is his great quick thinking. Makes great decisions under pressure.
Travis Cadet shifts back in the backfield. Now all receivers out. Brees with time, connects with Brandon Cooks, but he's short of a first down. Up to the 39-yard line. Paul Warlow, the middle linebacker, making the tackle on Brandon Cooks. And a good defensive start to the game for the Falcons. And the long-time return man, Devin Hester. See the numbers, 20 returns for touchdowns in his career for the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. Thomas Morstead with a high, long punt. Hester waves for the fair catch at the 11-yard line. Matt Ryan will bring the Falcons out and see what he can do on offense.
This game is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. No fares, nothing to hide.
It's 1st and 10 from the 11.
Falcons start from the 11. Coming off back-to-back wins over Jacksonville and Carolina. Played probably their best game. of the season against Carolina last week. Matt Ryan on first down connects with Levine Toilolo, the tight end, the big lanky tight end, 6'8". He gets up to the 18-yard line. Matt Ryan, first 8 seasons in the NFL, passing for over 32,000 yards, and only Peyton Manning has done better than that. Devontae Freeman, the running back, who is 20 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. Ryan checking off at the line. And it's Freeman finding a good hole, getting up to the 23 and a first down. Stephon Anthony, the middle linebacker, on the tackle. Offensive line, Gino Gradkowski is starting. Jake Matthews, what a great name and a fine player at left tackle. Devontae Freeman is going to the Pro Bowl along with the great Julio Jones, who right now is the best receiver in the NFL. With the fullback DeMarco leading the way, Freeman finds a good hole and gets up to the 32-yard line, close to a first down. He got 9 on the play.
You talk about Patrick DeMarco leading the way, and Patrick DeMarco is not a real, you can see him right here, he's the fullback. He's not a real physical fullback. But what he does is a nice job of getting guys to move. And he just got waxed, I mean, mauled on the first play.
Freeman, nice carry, first down, up to the 32-yard line. Both these teams talk to us, Matt, about being balanced, that they're better teams when they can run the ball effectively.
Yeah, surprisingly, Matt Ryan is the one who really, after 10 years, he's like, you know, we need more balance. And like, if that comes as a surprise to you, you got to be kidding me. But they are committed to it, and they'll do it. And Devontae Freeman, really, he's been the balance.
Teron Ward is now in at the tailback spot with DeMarco, the fullback. Here's Ward on the carry. Tries to swing it wide, was slowed down, but slipped away, and gets up near midfield. He's out of bounds at the 48. Cameron Jordan had a piece of him, and Ward got away from him. There's the defensive line for the New Orleans Saints. Cameron Jordan is the big pass rusher. He has 9 sacks. Neither of these teams get a lot of pass rush. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony, the rookie, has done well this season. And Delvin Breaux, great story, rookie cornerback. Off the fake, Ryan sets up, wants to go deep for Julio Jones, overthrows him.
He had it. He had it. That's on Matt Ryan. As he's got it, they're going to try to disrupt him at the line of scrimmage, but then they gave him a free rein into that secondary. They sucked up on the other side. You're on that safety. You got to be money on that play. And Matt Ryan missed it, and he knows it.
They went for the big bomb and just missed. Devontae Freeman back in at running back on 2nd and 10. Freeman stopped by Kenny Vaccaro, the safety. Time for an update. Here's Mike Hill.
All right, guys, Eagles and Giants. You know, Chip Kelly just got fired, and DeMarco Murray may be fired up about it. 54-yard touchdown run, his longest run of the season. And just like that, 7-0 Eagles in the first. Sam, Matt, back to you.
The Eagles have had the Giants number the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Giants
really
can't beat them.
It's amazing. Well, that one's obviously far from over. And if this is Tom Coughlin's last game, which a lot of people speculate it will be, they're going to get a good effort out of it.
On 3rd and 10, Ryan throwing, and a great grab by Jacob Tamme, the tight end, reaching behind him and back to make the grab.
Yeah, well, the whole thing happens up front, but watch it thrown behind, and he just sucks that thing in. Tamme has great hands. He always has. Not a great blocker, but he's a great receiver, and that's what he needed to be there.
8th-year man out of Kentucky, Jacob Tamme, beautiful catch.
Good protection also, Sam, on that. It allowed Matt Ryan to be able to step up and find Tamme.
Good drive for the Falcons, which started at their 11-yard line. Nick Williams, number 15, is in at wide receiver. Here's Freeman. Gets down to the 37-yard line. He picked up 3 on the play.
Yeah, he might be right at that 1,000-yard mark. This is what this offense likes to do. They like to stretch. They want you defensively to start to run and create gaps in between. And then they'll cut the backside off, and you'll see this a lot of times. But on this particular one, all they're doing is they want you to start to run and move, and then Freeman picks his hole.
And with the 3-yard pickup, the Atlanta Falcons have a 1,000-yard rusher for the first time in 4 years. Devontae Freeman over 1,000. 3 wide receivers in. It's Freeman again, cutting it back. Slipped 1 tackle. Gets down to the 33-yard line.
It's interesting watching Devontae Freeman, Sam, because you look at him, you go, where is he standing in a hole? And you're like, no, he's not a tall guy, but there's a lot of muscle packed on that body. And he's kind of short, but he's got great vision, good quickness, and he's surprisingly strong through the hole.
4th-round pick last year out of Florida State, and the crowd cheered the announcement that he was over 1,000 yards. 11th play of this drive for the Falcons. Ryan with time lofts it too far for Tammy. Tammy was slowed down a little bit at the line, but again, second overthrow by Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Kenny Vaccaro got his hands on him a little bit there and slowed it down. And that's what you have to do with these receivers. You can't give them free rein. Tammy's a good route runner, not a real fast guy, but he can get on top of you if you're not careful with him. Vaccaro, I think, is excellent down in the box. Where he has problems is in space, but there he prevailed.
So lone field goal try for Shane Graham, 51 yards. He was hitting from as far as 58 yards away in pregame warmups. The kick on the way is true. It's through there by plenty. 51-yard field goal for Shane Graham. Falcons on their first possession, offensive possession, score 3.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Back in Atlanta, 12 plays, 56 yards, nearly 6 minutes of possession time. And the Graham 51-yard field goal, 8 runs and 4 passes on that drive.
And good balance, but nice protection. That's the big thing. And one of the Saints' problems this year, Cameron Jordan's their only pass rusher. They need to get some more people to put pressure on the quarterback.
Travaris Cadet brings it out this time. Nice cutback, big hole, and he's brought down from behind as he got to the 30-yard line. Good return by Travaris Cadet. Drew Brees brings that big, strong throwing arm out onto the field.
Today's game is sponsored by Mobile Strike. Download and play now, free from the App Store.
Sean Payton's record outstanding, a Super Bowl championship. But you talked about Tom Coughlin. A lot of talk that this might be Sean Payton's last game as head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I hear all kinds of things going on out there, but let me just say this. What he does, you can't find. You better hold on to him.
On the carry, Travaris Cadet with a good pickup.
Sam, Sean Payton he's a little unique in terms of head coaches. He understands personnel. That's the first thing. Now, all of them think they know it all, but they know. But he's pretty good. That's the first thing. He's a great play caller. He understands when and where to take chances. You can't find what Sean Payton brings. He's rare. Hold on to him.
Brees connects to Cadet, turns it into a big gain, and Travaris Cadet is out of bounds inside the 30. At the 28-yard line. We talked about him. This is a former receiver turned running back.
Yeah, but none of it happens unless this happens first. And that's the protection up front. And so look at a nice clean pocket. You're able to, what does that do? That allows Cadet to be able to work the underneath. And he's working on a backer on the inside. You cannot give up the inside. Now Cadet understands how to affect the defender and does it very well there.
36-yard pickup for the Saints. On the carry, it's Cadet. This time he's dropped for a loss of a yard. Back to the 29-yard line. Travaris Cadet, who was waived by San Francisco and picked up by the Saints. Saints have had to go through a lot of running backs. And there's an injury on the play. That's Zach Strief. He's just coming back from an injury, and he's having trouble getting up.
That's not good for the Saints, because they are very thin on that offensive line. This is the shuffle going on in there now. That looks like it could be okay.
Walking off under his own power. That's a good sign. Tony Hills is the swing tackle, can play on either side, number 76, and he comes in to replace Zach Strief. Three wide receivers in. Breeze with time, connects with Ben Watson, the tight end, inside the 10-yard line. Oh, Watson's had a fabulous year for the Saints.
Yeah, and it really caught everybody's attention the last time against these Falcons. They're going to watch. That's a great route. Great route. Working on Godfrey. Godfrey last week had a great game against Carolina Panthers. Ben Watson, the last time they played, had 10 receptions for about $140. They need to get him out of this game plan.
Career high 69 receptions for Ben Watson. Here's Tim Hightower trying to find a hole. He's brought down as he crosses the 5-yard line. Paul Warlow, the middle linebacker, on the stop.
You look at this Falcon defense. They've gotten better in their defensive line. They still need another pass rusher. They're banged up, so like everybody is at this time of the season. Their linebacking crew, that they need to upgrade their linebackers, but their back end, I think, is going to be okay.
Second and goal at the 4-yard line. Hightower, the running back. Off the fake. Breeze looking. Comes back the other way and overthrows Josh Hill, the other tight end. They'll bring up a 3rd and goal for the Saints.
Kamal Ishmael did a nice job of staying with that. What they like to do, he'll run opposite from where the receiver is going to be, and then Hill will sneak out to the backside. And if you're not paying attention, you'll give up 6 quick. But of course, it sets up this big 3rd down.
And they spread the offense on 3rd and goal. Breeze being rushed and it's blocked. Good play by Vic Beasley. And a late flag.
Beasley's going to learn, Sam, you cannot be an effective outside rusher until you learn how to take the inside. And that time, he did take the inside, and it made the difference in the play.
First-round draft pick out of Clemson. Certainly has had a nice 2 years.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. However, there is personal foul, roughing the passer defense, hitting the quarterback in the head. That covers half the distance to the goal, an automatic first down.
Well, they're going to be, that's the referee's job, is to watch right there. And that's Drew Brees' head. And they're going to get, they're going to come, here he comes back to this great move by Beasley. Unfortunately, he reached up to hit the ball, and it's just this follow-through. Does him a little tap on the head. Now, back in the day, that was nothing, but now that's a big deal. That's the rule, and that's the call.
Zach Strief is back in at right tackle for the Saints. It's a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Hightower to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown. There's a flag down. We'll check that.
Yeah, whenever I would see those.
Offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty replay.
Strief comes back in the game, and he's called for holding.
You know, every now and then you get this stuff. You're going to watch Zach Strief, number 64. He's up on the top side here. And that's, you know, actually he should show up on the tackle charts with that one. Not necessarily a hold. It was a nice tackle.
Paul Warlow, the middle linebacker, was the man coming through, and Strief took him down. The ball back to the 12-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the Saints. Hightower, the running back. And the carry. Good hole. Hightower battles his way down to the 1-yard line.
What an awesome story Tim Hightower has, Sam. Just out of football for 3 years. And I got to tell you, he looks better to me now than when he came into the league.
With Arizona.
Yeah, and he is just tough, and he's nonstop, and here he goes again.
Cuts in at the goal line. Touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns last week. It's been a great return to the NFL over the last 2 months for Tim Hightower.
Yeah, watch Hightower. He plays almost at a different speed than everybody else, and he's not real fast. He's just non-stop.
Yeah.
I love watching him play. So happy that knee is back again, and he's a complete guy again. Good blocking on that offensive line, and then all it takes is just for Hightower to have half a crack, and he's there.
He was in training camp, had a good camp, but then was cut and then re-signed after the Saints had injuries at running back in November. And now he's the starting running back and making an impression with his 4th touchdown of the season. Saints lead it.
Well, you've been out of the league for a while. You understand where your bread's buttered. Tim Hightower goes right to the big guys. And he knows they're the ones opening the holes, and he knows, look, sometimes you get it, and sometimes they get you. So he goes right to Zach Strief and tells him he's got his back. That's good stuff.
There's Devin Hester on the return for the Falcons. And is brought down at the 17-yard line. Julio Jones, the man the Saints are watching, and the man to lead the Atlanta Falcons. It would take an unbelievable game, but Julio Jones, the 17 receptions, 243 yards to break 2 NFL single-season receiving records.
He's capable of unbelievable games.
You're right. Spread offense, Matt Ryan splits Dante Freeman, the running back, out to the right. With time over the middle, completes to Julio Jones. There's one.
Yeah, Julio Jones, I'll tell you, he eats zones alive. Keep in mind, every zone has holes. But not every receiver can find them. Julio Jones knows how to find them.
It's interesting, both coaches, his head coach, his offensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, Kyle Shanahan, and Sean Payton immediately said he's a great route runner.
Oh, he is. He runs outstanding routes.
On first down, 10-yard pickup on first down. That toss was juggled by Freeman and winds up as a loss back to the 23-yard line.
Interesting, because they have not been thrilled with the center position here. And they've been having problems fumbling the snaps. Yeah. And so they took Mike Person out, and Gradkowski comes in. And lo and behold, we got another fumble at the snap.
Had a couple of those last week, and that's why Person was out. Gradkowski in.
That should never happen.
Loss of 5 on that last play. 2nd and 15. Ryan looking to set up a little swing pass to Freeman. And Freeman gets up close to the first down. Let's get an update from Mike Hill in Los Angeles. Mike.
Guys, Steelers need a win, and the Jets lost to get into the playoffs in Cleveland. Steelers getting on the board. Ben Roethlisberger to Heath Miller, 2-yard score, 7-0 Steelers. Meanwhile, in Buffalo, the Jets falling to the Bills right now. Tyrod Taylor, 18-yard touchdown score, 7-0 Bills in the first. Sam, Matt, back to you.
Sam, how many people have called that one?
And
you were the first. As soon as you saw me, you said it.
Right. Here's Freeman busting through, first down. Oh, he almost took it all the way. Kenny Vaccaro saved the touchdown with that tackle. Freeman, a good start to the game as he's over 1,000 yards.
Well,
go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, well, Devontae Freeman, I think he's better than they thought he was going to be. I don't think there's any question about that. And I think when you looked at this offense for Atlanta, they had the fast start, and then they got into a bunch of turnovers and not very many big plays. And it looks like they're getting the big plays back.
3 tight ends in. Freeman splits out to the right. All receivers out. Ryan gets time. Throwing short for Tony Moyaki.
Yeah, out of Iowa.
I always hesitate on his name, Moyaki. But he dropped it.
Well, Sam, one of the things you're seeing right now, it's very evident, is the offensive line is giving protection against this Saints defensive front. And the Saints, down 4, are not getting it. Now, Cam Jordan's the guy. He's got like 9.5 sacks, but he needs help. he can't do it all by himself. And so there's got to be more push, and right now it's not showing up. Generally what happens, then you start adding a guy. And so expect a blitz here sooner or later.
3 wide receivers. Jacob Tanny splits off as well. Delay to Freeman. Nice move. Gets inside Saints territory down to the 47-yard line. Stephon Anthony, the middle linebacker, rookie out of Clemson, made the stop.
Good vision. Nice ability to be able to make the nice cuts up inside. Like I said, he's not tall. He's kind of a short guy. He's put together pretty good. But his change of direction is outstanding.
9 carries, 36 yards for Devontae Freeman. We have come down to the end of the first quarter. Falcons scored first. Saints with a touchdown, lead it 7-3.
Let me show you anatomy of taping. See these two fingers right there?
Yeah.
That means one of them doesn't work, so he taped it to the other one. And this bad boy right here, that one that can't bend anymore, he now has no strength, so he's taping it to the other one. So he's going to have like the spot, live long and prosper look inside.
That was Andy Levitre, the guard. Ryan finds an open man. It's his tight end, Moeaki. There's a flag on the play. Ryan wanted to go downfield with it, but the receivers were well covered. Craig Rolstad is our referee today.
Pretty good crew, I think.
Holding defense number 40. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Holding was a problem for Delvin Breaux early in the season, along with some interference calls, but he seemed to have cleaned it up. He really worked at watching a lot of tape, but he gets called here. First down.
He's going to be pretty good, Delvin Breaux. That's a good player.
At the Saints 42, off the fake. Ryan tosses it out to Moeaki. A lot of room, and the big tight end takes it down the sideline and goes in. Touchdown.
Yeah,
42-yard touchdown.
Well conceived, and then just a really nice job. You're going to watch here, he's Moeaki. They're going to get everybody going this way, and you're going to see him come back underneath. Now, the whole key to this is get the ball into his hands quickly, which Matt Ryan does very well. Now, watch Jacob Tamme. Don't give up. That's a really well done job by Tamme. Really is the difference in the play for the touchdown.
Moeaki's first touchdown of the season.
Great family Tony Moeaki comes from. I know his dad. That's a good man. Good family.
Shane Graham for the extra point. And it is good. And the Falcons take the lead for the second time in the game. Matt Ryan loves it. It's another touchdown pass, and Moeaki celebrates as well.
Today's game is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Bring home the flavor only at Pizza Hut. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Pepsi. Go behind the scenes of the Pepsi Super Bowl 50 halftime show only on Pepsi.com.
Back in Atlanta, 8 plays, 82 yards, 5 passes, 3 runs, and a 42-yard catch and run for Tony Moeaki. His first touchdown of the season, former Kansas City Chief tight end, and got a big block from his fellow tight end, Jacob Tamme.
It all works when you help.
Bosher kicking it off. Travaris Cadet on the return. Finds an opening. Gets a good block up front. Another good return for Travaris Cadet. Out of bounds to the 32-yard line. January 17th, the first ever UFC title bout comes to FS1. Bantamweight champ TJ Dillashaw takes on former champ #1 ranked contender Dominic Cruz. Plus, former world champ Anthony Pettis battles Eddie Alvarez. All begins Sunday, January 17th, only on FS1. 38 yards on the return for Travaris Cadet. From the 32, Drew Brees. With time goes short to Hightower out of the backfield. And he's up to the 44-yard line for a first down.
good protection and then good thinking by Drew Brees. I want you to watch the big guys up front. That's the first thing you're going to see. It's a 4-man rush. He's got a lot of time. And so what does he do? What they're doing defensively is they're not going to let you get deep. So Brees just is patient. He's just going to take what the defense gives him, dumps it off underneath to Hightower, and he picks up a first.
Good start for both quarterbacks. Brees is 5 for 7, 84 yards. Time again, throws and completes it. Brandon Coleman, the big first-year receiver out of Rutgers, with a good grab.
That one this is called getting thrown open. Because Coleman's going to get to the top side, so he throws it to the outside, and he's leveraging him. But he's leveraged because Brees sees it and puts him out there. He just gets to the backside, and it's a nice completion. Well done by Drew Brees. Well done by Coleman.
Coleman got injured in his junior year at Rutgers, came out, was not drafted, but a big, tall receiver. And getting a chance with Marcus Colston out of the lineup. 22-yard pickup on that last play. Screen pass. Hightower picks up a block, gets down to the 30-yard line. Well, as we figured at the top, these offenses are moving the ball.
And we'll repeat ourselves. The team that plays the best defense will win. And anytime you play the Sean Payton coach team, you've got to be ready for screens. He is the screen king. He runs them from all over. Gets it to the tight end, the back, wide receivers. He gets them all over the place.
At the Falcons 31, 2nd and 6. Hightower motions. Brees short to the tight end is batted away. Warlow, the middle linebacker, with a good play. Pass intended for Josh Hill.
Yeah, Josh Hill got manned up by Warlow that time. So a little bit different, and it sets up this 3rd down. So all the success that New Orleans has had comes down to this 3rd down if you're an Atlanta Falcons. So defensively, now's the time you've got to make a play. You've got to get pressure. The last time, they got some pressure on the outside with Vic Beasley. Let's see if that can happen again.
Travaris Cadet is in the game. 3 wide receivers. All receivers out. Pass for Cadet. He's got it. And he's got a first down.
Cadet gets it. Cadet gets it. He understands how to leverage a defender. And so defensively, here's Cadet in the backfield. He's going to come outside. Now see, he jumped to the outside. And that's really unfair. And that's a defensive end trying to pick up that, really a receiver. But all he had to do is get him to one side of him, and Brees will do the rest. So he leveraged him outside. Brees throws it inside. It's a big first down.
That was Adrian Claiborne, the defensive end, who was covering on the play. First down, Saints at the 23. All receivers out. Brees with time. Looks for a man. It's off the hands of Benjamin Watson.
And you're going to hear me say this a lot today, Sam. Great protection. Now, it's one of two things. It's either great protection or poor pass rush. You be the judge.
I think it's a combination.
Yeah. So there's, he can right there. That should have been a completion. He go up to high point it, and it should have been a completion. And Brees understands it.
2nd and 10. Spread the offense. Brees outside of Travaris Cadet, out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
So what we talked about earlier, if you can't get there with 4, then you start bringing people. So Richard Smith, the defensive coordinator for Atlanta, he brings somebody off the edge that time. Brees sees it fast, and Cadet's for real.
Oh, he looks good.
Cadet's for real.
He can catch the ball. He actually stepped out of bounds just inside the 18-yard line. Brings up a 3rd and a long 4. Hightower now in the backfield.
Got to have tight coverage here. Don't give up the inside.
Little pressure. And the throw short to Brandon Cooks. He's right at the first down marker. It's a good play by the wide receiver. He knew exactly where to go.
Yeah, and he sat down. And so it was a combination zone. And so what happens in the combos, it's kind of a matchup. So once you come into your zone, then you match them up. And you play the gray area all the time. When you're a receiver in that kind of defense, you play the gray areas.
Brees with 6 completions on this drive, being rushed, hit as he threw. And what a grab, but out of bounds. Great effort by Watson.
But an even better effort by Godfrey. This Godfrey's going to use the sideline as his help. And so he's going to force him wide. And that is, whoa, that's close, man. That is really close. Watch Watson. You have to get 2 feet down. There's one and the knee. Ew, boy, that's close. 1 knee equals 2 feet, I believe. Didn't Madden write a book or something like that?
Drew Brees has gone over to the sideline.
One
to talk to
foot.
Sean Payton, and Sean Payton is going to challenge.
He should. I think that's going to be a touchdown.
All right, challenge flag has been thrown as the quarterback and the coach consulted. And the referee, Craig Rolstad.
New Orleans is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
New Orleans driving. Falcons leading. Good game. Sean Payton's getting ready for the next play. Ben Watson's hoping it'll be a touchdown call.
I think it will be, Sam.
After review, the ruling on the field has changed. The runner completed the catch, got his left knee down in bounds. It is a touchdown.
Wow, how about that?
New Orleans
that's
will not
great
be
officiating
charged
right
with a
there.
timeout.
That's why we have the system we have, and they're getting it right. Now here's the key. There's the catch. He has control. There's 1 foot down, and then you go to the Madden book. 1 knee equals 2 feet, and then completes the process all the way through. So there's no juggling. He has it complete in control. That's a great call. Really well defensed, and just an excellent effort right there. That's phenomenal.
Great throw, great catch.
Oh, Watson was all over that one.
30-second touchdown pass thrown by Drew Brees this season. 7 for 10 on that drive.
Not too shabby.
Kai Forbath for the extra point. Back and forth we go. And the Saints have the lead for the second time. It's 14-10. Matt Ryan awaits his turn. Nice touchdown for Ben Watson.
Sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Benjamin Watson with the touchdown. 9 plays, all passes. 68 yards, 13-yard touchdown catch for Ben Watson, his 6th touchdown catch of the season.
I remember last time they played, he had 10 catches for around $140, and Atlanta didn't have an answer for him. So Godfrey was their answer, and that didn't work out so well in that last one. Although I got to tell you, Godfrey had that was great coverage. That's just a phenomenal play by Benjamin Watson.
When Jimmy Graham left, went to Seattle, all the talk was, what are they going to do? Well, Watson's played well.
Not
Josh
too
Hill's
bad.
second tight end. They've done a real good job.
Yeah, you got a real live quarterback. That happens.
Devin Hester from the goal line. Has a blocker with him. Swings it outside, out of bounds at the 22-yard line. The new Fox Tuesday is comedy's biggest night. Catch brand new episodes of New Girl, Grandfathered, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and The Grinder. It all kicks off this Tuesday on Fox. Matt Ryan's turn. He's 6 for 9, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. Drew Brees 11 for 15, 140 yards, 1 touchdown. Freeman and DeMarco in the backfield. Freeman got to get back, and the Saints are there. Gain of a yard. Update. Here's Kurt Menefee, our man.
Hello, Sam. Buffalo giving it to the Jets right now. The Jets need to win to get in the playoffs, but Rex Ryan goes for it on 4th and 2 against his old team. Carlos Williams scores. They missed the extra point, but they lead it 13-0, trying to keep the Jets out of the postseason.
Wow. Thanks, Kurt.
No surprise.
Wow. Ryan with a deep drop, and the throw is dropped by Julio Jones.
Threw it on the backside. Julio had to adjust right in the middle. A guy like that should, normally I would say it's a tough catch, but for Julio Jones, that should make that catch. Comes back, it's in his hands. That's got to be a catch. Now, what we didn't see on that was he had to kind of contort his body to the other side quickly, but he was able to do it.
3rd and 8. Julio Jones has been targeted 3 times and has 1 catch in the game. Falcons 3 for 4 on 3rd downs thus far in the game. Ryan with time and throws on the run and completes to Jacob Tamme down to the 41-yard line. Boy, Ryan throws the ball well when he moves.
Yeah, and he's a lot better than people think about in terms of a moving quarterback. But the first thing is you're going to have enough time to be able to throw it, and then he's able to work the pocket. Watch him work up. Once you work up, that's on the backside, and Sanford, 33, he got his eyes back in the backfield, and that's the difference in the play.
32-yard gain. They spot the ball at the 44-yard line. On 1st down, Ryan's still with it.
Got Julio wide.
And he's got him. Slips and is pulled down at the 29-yard line. A 1st down for the Falcons. Boy, these teams can move the football.
And they're going to have an answer for Atlanta's those naked boots that they're doing with Matt Ryan, who's good on the run, and mostly to his right side. He throws better from his right side than his left. They're going to have to do something with that because they're wearing that thing out.
Picked up 15 on the last play. Freeman in the backfield, and Freeman is stopped short of the line of scrimmage. Dropped for a loss back at the 32, a loss of 3 on the play. Tyler Davison, rookie out of Fresno State, making the stop. This is a young Atlanta defense.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of rookies and 2nd-year men on their defense.
Yeah, and that Davidson's a big, powerful kid, and they're just figuring it out. But they need another pass rusher is what they need in that New Orleans Saints front. We talked about it before. Cam Jordan is their guy, 94. You see him right there, but they need someone else.
I said Falcons defense, I meant the Saints defense, excuse me. Freeman out of the backfield, but he goes to the tight end and completes to Jacob Tamme down at the 26-yard line.
He's really developed something with Tamme. Tammy's one of those guys, regardless of where he's been, he's clutch when it comes to catching the ball. He's got great hands. He runs really good routes. He knows how to work a defender. So Matt Ryan and him have gotten pretty much on the same page this year, and that's a good man to move the chains.
Bring up a 3rd and a long 7. Have to get inside the 20-yard line. In motion, Freeman. All receivers out. Ryan throws a little behind Justin Hardy, the intended receiver. Fans react as Hardy was pulled down by Kyle Wilson, the defender on the play.
Yeah, he threw it behind him. But he had him. He had him leveraged. You're going to watch Julio Jones is going to go back inside, then he's going to come right behind him. The ball gets thrown behind, and that's a good non-call. That's just plain field. Wilson, 24 there. Once you make your move on the receiver, you don't know where that ball is, so you just complete the move.
Shane Graham will attempt a field goal from 45 yards out. Josh Harris, the long snapper, and the kick is blocked. Saints block the field goal try. Little trouble with the snap, but they were in there. Arms up. They got a piece of it.
And Kevin Williams is on one side, Cam Jordan on the other side, that offensive guard. Cam Jordan is able to get his hand up right there. You're going to watch him. He's going to work off that guard and then collapse back to the middle. Right here, and then get your hands up. And that's really well done. Now, what that tells you is the trajectory on that kick was low.
Yeah.
It needed to get up a little quicker. Cam Jordan, now he got up pretty high, but it was a low trajectory kick.
Good job by the Saints. Cam Jordan getting up for the block. Shane Graham talking it over with his holder, Matt Bosher. Graham, who made one from 51 yards earlier. So the Saints start from the 35-yard line. 7 runs, 15 passes on the last drive. All passes. Breeze changing the play. As time goes short out of the backfield, Tim Hightower turns it into a nice gain into Falcons territory. Knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
So what happens, he gets up to the line of scrimmage and he sees that he has a full box. So he gets up there and you hear him saying, kill, 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 kill. So what he's doing is he's getting out of the run completely and he's getting into the second play in that series, which was a pass play. So they run everybody off and he just dumps it back underneath. That's just good, smart quarterbacking.
Gain of 21 on the play. 3 tight ends in for the Saints. Hightower. Boy, he battles for yards.
I like that guy.
Down to the 39-yard line. They first noticed him, kind of ironic, Sean Payton saying, I know Hightower back from his Arizona days. He ran a 70-yard touchdown run in the playoffs against us on the first play from scrimmage.
They don't forget. Trust me, they do not forget those guys.
Traveris Cadet is in. He shifts back. Cadet in the slot. All receivers out. Breeze outside. Completes to Coleman. Coleman out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Let's take a look at that. This is playoff game. First play from scrimmage. Tim Hightower for Arizona.
Said he didn't even get his juicy fruit coming, and he said it was already down 7 points.
70-yard touchdown run.
They don't forget, man. They remember.
He had 3 years in Arizona and then went to Washington and tore up his knee badly. But back in the NFL and looking good, and catches that pass and trying to keep the play alive, but he's pulled down by Charles Godfrey, the safety.
So let me just dispel any of the notions that anybody has about Drew Brees' arm not being strong. Okay, he doesn't have a Roethlisberger arm or a Bradshaw arm or an Elway arm or one of those guys, but it's accurate. He can make all the throws. He anticipates exceptionally well, and what I love about him is his mental quickness.
Yeah.
He makes great decisions.
And with all the passes that he attempts,
yeah,
his arm is still as strong, if not stronger, at the end of the season. Breeze quickly outside. Hightower ridden out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
And welcome everybody to the Tim Hightower Show. and just, I love this kid. I love the story. I love his effort. I love the fact that he came back. What he did is really hard to do, and he's back 100%.
And effective out of the backfield, running the ball, catching the ball. See the numbers there. Saints now with a 3rd down at the 21-yard line. 3rd and 5.
So Atlanta, somebody's got to make a play.
Cadet shifts outside. Breeze quickly to the tight end. Josh Hill ridden down short of the 1st down.
Nicely done by Godfrey. They'll kick the field goal here because he's short of the 1st. Unless he's going to try to go for it. Maybe give it to the Tim Hightower Show again.
Well, Drew Brees is staying on the field. He jogged over. Got a signal from Sean Payton, the head man. And let's see.
Well, whatever it is, they better hurry up.
Yeah.
They're already down to 14 seconds. He's good. Brees has enough time. And he's going to let it run down and take a timeout.
Yep. And looking at the play clock tick down. Here's the timeout. Drew Brees will go to talk it over with Sean Payton. They want to go for it. It's about 4th and maybe a yard and a half. And for the Saints, that offense moving the football. It's an interesting dynamic watching those two on the sideline. They've been together for 9 years and been such a great story for New Orleans football.
What I always enjoy seeing is when you have a coach, the play caller in particular, on the same page with the quarterback, they complete each other's sentences. They know how each other's thinking. They're seeing the same things. I have always said you have to have the same eyes. And when that happens, boy, that's usually a great combination. And usually, if it's Montana or Young or whoever it's been through the years, the play caller and the quarterback, they're on the same page and have the same eyes.
That'll be interesting. If Sean Payton leaves, what happens to Drew Brees? Does he leave as well? Saints 10 for 15 on 4th down tries this season. Brees.
Oh, great hit.
And great tackle on the play by Robert Alford on Willie Snead.
I think he stopped him. That's going to be really close. But watch the break from Alford. That is awesome. Nice stick. Oh, gotta love that.
The spot will be key here. This is going to be really, really close.
Alford saw it, did not hesitate. He started his break before, as the ball was being thrown, and got there. That's awesome defense.
Inches short. Big play by Robert Alford, the third-year cornerback from Southeast Louisiana.
Dan Quinn loves it, I'll tell you. He's a defensive guy too, Sam.
No, we haven't talked much about Dan Quinn, but we will, because this is the end of a tumultuous year for the first-year head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. They won their first 5 games, lost to the New Orleans Saints to break that streak, came back with a win, and then lost 6 in a row, and their season crashed, but did not burn because they won their last 2 games. Devontae Freeman in the backfield with Matt Ryan. They start from the 16. Here's Freeman. Boy, bounced off a couple of tacklers, gets up to the 20-yard line.
Now, I don't know if I'm watching really good offensive effort today or just bad defense. But that last play for Alford's great defense. But both these running backs, Hightower and Freeman, they're legit guys. They're fun to watch, and they brought their A game here and on the last game of the season.
Off the play fake.
Middle of the field got him.
Ryan stops, hits Julio Jones. Up to the 45-yard line.
Sam, we call that the old waggle route. So you start one way, and then you bring him. You can see him on the outside. He's going to come all the way inside. And you get on top of the defenders as they bite. You see Humphord there, 53. So what happens, he bites, and then you get on top of him, and you just have to wheel and try to get there.
Why give him so much room, Matt?
You're not trying to, but you have to honor the play fake up front.
He gained 27 now. Ryan throwing deep, overthrows Roddy White.
Missed him and had him. That's the second one we've had. He missed Julio on the first time, and now Roddy White again on the deep ball.
Brandon Browner was covering on the play.
Enough time to be able to set his feet and slow himself down a little bit.
Roddy White is the all-time leading receiver for the Falcons, but if Julio Jones stays here and stays healthy, he will surpass Roddy White, and Roddy White helped bring Julio Jones along. Julio says Roddy was the man who taught me how to be a pro.
Yeah, Roddy knows it, and Roddy wants it, and that's the difference. He helps him. He'll help him in any way he can.
Here's Ryan throwing and completing to Justin Hardy across midfield and a hard tackle.
And so they go with it quick. They came with a blitz, so the ball has to come out quick. You got to gain leverage quickly, and they did. And sets up this 3rd down and about 5.
Kyle Wilson on that last stop after a gain of 6. Matt Ryan 11 for 17, 176 yards. We've had a good offensive show here in the first half. And a good hit there by Kyle Wilson. Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL.
Sam, the other night we were walking down the street and you had that big long line and you said you want to hear some music at the Opera House, and I'm thinking Buccelli. And you said all those people are lined up for it. I said that's ludicrous, and you said that's who's playing.
That's it.
I was confused.
It's Atlanta, man. Freeman, no room to run. They stopped him on 3rd down. Good job by the Saints defense as they drop Devontae Freeman.
There's a flag.
Loss.
Somebody dropped the flag there too, and Freeman's happy about it.
Face mask?
I don't know. Freeman's pretty adamant that it's against the Saints.
They're marking it off.
On the tackle, personal foul, face mask, defense. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Devontae Freeman puts the brakes on. Yeah, and you can see it right there. Right in the middle of your screen as Ramon Humber. And he does not come equipped with ABS. That anti-lock brake system didn't quite work there on the big man. But the face mask did, and that's a costly mistake.
So the Falcons get a first down at the Saints 32. Saints with a 14-10 lead. Each team has led twice in the game. 3 wide receivers in for Atlanta, and they all go to the right side.
Watch Jacob Tammy. This is the time for him. Move the chain down.
Ryan on the move. And lets it go. Complete for Roddy White, out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Making the 22.
Stops the clock, moves the chains. Again, throwing to his right. He's most comfortable throwing to his right, and that's where he likes to get out of. And then eyes downfield. Well done by Roddy White. Another first down. Roddy White was a state champion high school wrestler. And every time I see him, he tries to throw legs in or give me something, but he's got great toughness.
You saw the career numbers for Roddy White, the franchise leader. The fake, the draw play, Freeman weaving his way down inside the 15-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. Timeout Atlanta. Let's check out what's coming up at halftime. And back in the studio, Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy.
Timeout, New Orleans. It's a 30-second timeout.
Highlights,
This is second.
analysis, a look at the Jets and Steelers trying to make the playoffs and fighting for that last playoff spot in the AFC. And the Jets are within 6 points of Buffalo after the Bills with a good start led 13-0. It's now 13-7 in Buffalo.
One of the first adages I learned in the National Football League, and it applies to your game and your season. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Sir.
So you've got to be able to finish strong.
2nd and 3 for the Falcons at the 15. Ryan throwing to Julio Jones down to the 2-yard line. They'll spot it close to the 1. Kyle Wilson on the coverage.
Yeah, so all they're doing is just playing a zone there. Like I said, there's a hole in every zone if you have the time to find it. Julio Jones just sits down to the outside, and the rest is all on Matt Ryan.
Quick update back to LA to Mike Hill.
In 10 NFL seasons, Brandon Martian's never gone to the playoffs, can get in with the win in Buffalo. His 14th touchdown this season matches the franchise record. Jets win or Steelers loss, and New York is in the playoffs. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mike. Here is goal to go inside the 2-yard line. 1st and goal with 3 tight ends in.
If you run, you do it on first down.
Freeman looking for an opening, doesn't have one. Saints do a good job. They stretched it out. Ramon Humber made the tackle.
That's why I don't like to stretch down inside the red zone, particularly down that tight, because all your defenders are down, including your safeties. And so what you have to do, what the Falcons are trying to do, is to get you to stretch and run. And when everybody's tight to the line of scrimmage, you get more bodies to the ball. Now we'll see passes for the next couple throws. Next couple downs, rather.
Loss of 3 on that last play, back to the 4-yard line. Dan Quinn letting the clock run down here.
Yeah, that surprises me. Saints have no timeouts. Atlanta has 3. I don't know what his thinking is, but I will tell you this.
First charge timeout, Atlanta. This is a 30-second timeout.
Dan Quinn, new head coach. And so one of the things that you have to be ready for is how to manage a game clock and manage a game. And so I remember talking to Coach John Madden years ago. We would talk about how does a head coach get ready, and he said that was the toughest thing. And so what Coach Madden would do was he'd watch games on TV live and put himself in those situations. Dan Quinn has him taped, and he sits and he watches them every Tuesday and takes time and practices game management. And I think it's a fantastic idea. And you can see he's right there with the special teams coach, and they sit together, he and Keith, and they work it out.
Keith Armstrong, very important. And they ask each other, what would you do here?
Yeah.
Would you call a timeout? On 2nd and goal, Ryan throws, touchdown! Devontae Freeman with his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. And the Falcons regain the lead.
Ryan was going to that right away. He saw the coverage, and Devontae Freeman was going to have leverage on him. So the throw was going to have to be a nice tight window. You're going to watch Devontae, he's going to go here. And so, see, that defender, you can't sit back there. That's Jarius Byrd, who's a good player. But you can't give any ground. You have to challenge that tight. Because once he has leverage in a tight window, that quarterback will throw it, and you give up 6.
See the numbers there is Shane Graham.
Under review.
Keep in mind they review every touchdown.
Scoring play.
The first clue that he's going out is he's wide. He's behind the outside of the tackle. There's the catch. There's control. There's 2 feet. There's 6 points.
Yes.
There's all kinds of little clues that you pick up studying film and understanding the team. In the first one, when he comes out, Devontae Freeman is lined up on the outside shoulder of that tackle. That's a dead giveaway that he's coming out.
Devontae Freeman has had himself an outstanding season with 11 rushing touchdowns, tied for the NFL lead, and this would be his 3rd receiving touchdown.
Catch, control, 1 foot, 2 foot. Complete the process all the way through.
And here comes Craig Rolstad.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touchdown.
Matt Ryan has passed for over 200 yards here in the first half.
He's had quite a few of 400-yarders, and so he's on pace, as is Breeze.
Shane Graham for the extra point. Almost blocked, but that one is good. 4 lead changes in this game. Right now, the Falcons lead. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee, find out what's coming up at halftime.
Look, TB, I'm telling you, it's really simple. If the Patriots win, they win home field throughout the playoffs. Now, the Colts can knock Houston out of the AFC South if Indianapolis wins and Houston loses, but then also the Falcons have to win. Ravens, Dolphins, Bills, they got to win too.
No, America, I know you're confused as I am. Let's just talk about this at halftime.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Holy cow. This reminds me of General Mather.
Julio Jones heading for the Falcons locker room.
Not good for the Falcons. He looks fine. Maybe he just want to get a head start.
It's okay, a little extra time. Hopefully he's okay. He's had 4 catches for 66 yards in the first half. 9 plays, 83 yards on that last drive. 6 passes, 3 runs.
And a major penalty. That was the difference in that series.
The face mask penalty.
Correct.
That gave the Falcons a first down. Drew Brees with no timeouts remaining, hoping to get 1 crack at it. Bocher kicks it off. Deep. Travaris Cadet has it go through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's just see what happens with Julio Jones. This is the last play on the touchdown, so he takes his, looks like he got he tripped on something. Looked like he on Bro's foot or something.
Yeah.
But he looks fine there.
.26 seconds remaining in the half.
And they'll take a knee.
And the Saints won't take any more chances. Good first half. Back and forth. Four lead changes. Quarterbacks was sharp.
Quarterbacks were phenomenal, and it's exactly what we said at the start of the game. Which defense plays better will win this game.
Atlanta Falcons at home with a lead at halftime of 17-14. Here's Kurt Menefee and the Visa halftime room. By Nissan, and it has been a good, crisp game between two longtime rivals. They've gone back and forth with 4 lead changes. Good plays, good touchdowns, and a lot of excitement. That was today's excitement, brought to you by Nissan. Getting set for the second half. The quarterbacks have been outstanding. We talked about Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, 17 for 21. Both teams on target. The type of offense we expected.
Absolutely. And you know, it's funny, they know each other. They play each other twice a year. And so familiarity in the National Football League does not breed contempt. It breeds confidence. And that's what happens right now. What you can see is both teams know each other so well, they're anxious to make the plays they're making.
Only 1 punt in the game. The kickoff. And Devin Hester takes a knee. We get a coach's update from our man on the sideline, Peter Schrager.
Thanks, Sam. You know, it's week 17. Neither of the teams are going to the playoffs, but the Falcons just came out of the locker room fired up, and they came running out, pumping each other up. I asked Dan Quinn, what's going on here? He said, I just gave him a little something. I waited till week 17. I gave him something. Gave him some energy. Now, if you look over there, he says he wants to finish the game strong. As for Sean Payton, same thing is finished. Key injuries to watch. Stephon Anthony, number 50, the rookie linebacker, and Delvin Breaux both looked banged up, and Julio Jones got his ankle taped at halftime.
And he is back in the game. Thanks, Peter. Jacob Tammy, the tight end, motions. The play fake, Ryan with time, completes to Tammy. The tight end gets a first down up at the 32-yard line.
Well, you're looking at the numbers, and to keep in mind that in the first half, the Falcons had over 200 yards throwing the football. And they talk about balance. But when you're hot, and you stay with it. And so just like you saw in this last one with Jacob Tammy being able to pick up another first down, that was set up by Julio Jones, who ran a route on top of it, which opened it up underneath.
Falcons got some good running from Devontae Freeman, 13 carries, 47 yards. And here is Freeman. Not much there. The Saints do a good job, led by Cameron Jordan. Jordan is 5th year out of California, first-round draft pick in 2011. And that's the guy. He's got to be the anchor up front.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's got to be the playmaker up front. And so he blocked a field goal in the first half, and they're aware of him all the time. They slide to him or they help on his side. Somebody else has to pick up the slack.
On 2nd and 9, Freeman again trying to cut it back, ran into his own man, and still kept it alive. Gets up to the 40-yard line.
Well, Devontae Freeman's going to the Pro Bowl, and here's a couple of reasons why. He's got great quickness. He runs low to the ground. He can run through tackles with power. Catches the ball well out of the backfield. He's pretty complete. He's not a real big guy. He's just a real good player.
On 3rd down, the outside of Julio Jones. He makes the catch for a first down. Shoved out of bounds. His 7th reception. Makes that his 5th reception of the game.
Yeah, I want to show you this because we talked about Devontae Freeman. Keep your eyes on him. Because what they're going to do is they're going to come with a blitz up inside. Here it comes. Freeman takes him out. And because of that block, Matt Ryan's able to make the completion and keep this drive alive.
Teron Ward, 5'7", 200-pound rookie out of Oregon State is the running back now. It's Ward. This time the Falcons keep it on the ground. Flag on the play, and we'll check it out.
Usually when you're riding wide,
holding.
It's a hold.
Offense, number 80. 10-yard penalty. Replay. first down.
Levine Toilolo, the tight end, called for the hold. We get an update from Mike Hill in L.A. Mike.
Hey, guys, Patriots and the Dolphins. Falcons fans remember this guy, Steven Jackson, spent several years down there. His second game with the Pats, his first touchdown as a Patriot, making it 10-10 in the third with the Dolphins. Pats wrap up the #1 seed with the win in the AFC. Sam, back to you.
Thanks, Mike. All these games jockeying for position in the playoffs.
And I like the way the league has changed the scheduling so you get the divisional games at the end of the year.
1st and 20 for the Falcons at their 37. Throwing short, it's incomplete.
Matt Ryan's not happy with something. He's trying to point it out, but I don't see any flags, no laundry, no foul.
I think he thought there might have been some contact beyond 5 yards.
Well, they put themselves in a tough position with the penalty. Now, he doesn't have to get the whole thing back here, but he would like to get at least half of it back to give him 3rd and 10. At least it's more than manageable in 3rd and 20.
3 wide receivers in. Julio Jones up top.
Rough pressure.
And the pass for Jones and a late reaction. It's as if he didn't see it coming. Flag. There's a flag in the backfield of the Falcons.
They brought pressure up inside.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 78. It's a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Bobby Richardson.
That's tough. That's a second big penalty on a 3rd down. One was on one, would have led to a field goal attempt, and that's the right call. Richardson took more than 2 steps. He had time to be able to pull off that thing. And look, like it or not, that's the league right now, and so you have to be aware of it. You can't make that play. It's not a smart play.
Instead of a 3rd and long, it turns into a first down for the Falcons at the Saints 48-yard line. 3 tight ends in, with Freeman the running back. He's hit, slowed down, slips 2 men, and gets a couple of yards on the play. Down to the 46-yard line. Well, he's tough to bring down.
He's got great balance, and he has a little bit of, he can create. Those guys, they're rare guys.
2 tight ends in now. Off the play fake, wanting to go deep. Ryan looking for Roddy White. He dropped it. That time, that was a well-thrown pass.
That's completely on Roddy White. He had 3 drops a week ago, and he can't have this. He wants to play for a couple more years. He's not going to be around if this happens any longer. That's a great throw, not a good throw. And Roddy White has made that catch in his sleep 100 times. But for whatever reason, in the last few weeks, he's had the dropsies.
Falcons with 3 drops in the game. 3rd and 8. Freeman goes out to the right. Tammy in the backfield with Matt Ryan.
They're going to play his zone.
Ryan steps up in trouble. They got him. First sack of the game.
Guess who?
Cameron Jordan.
You got it.
He's got double-digit sacks on the season now.
It was 3rd and long, and so it takes a little bit longer. Now, they've been doing a pretty good job out here on Cameron Jordan, but this particular time, he jumps to the inside, really does a nice job on that guard, Chris Chester, and the net result is a sack.
First punt of the game for the Atlanta Falcons. Saints have punted once. Matt Bosher. Good kick. And a fair catch waved for by Travaris Cadet. Saints will start from the 8-yard line for the first time in the second half.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Burger King. Now get 10 chicken nuggets for $1.49 only at BK. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Sam Rosen, Matt Millen, Peter Schrager here in Atlanta for the final game of the regular season. Saints start from the 8-yard line. Hightower, nice hole, and a good run of 10 yards for a first down up across the 18-yard line. O'Brien Schofield in on the stop. O'Brien Schofield, who played for Dan Quinn when Dan Quinn was defensive coordinator out in Seattle. Dan Quinn has had quite a road to the NFL and being a head coach in the NFL.
I knew him back at Hofstra.
Breeze, open man. Willie Snead up to the 40-yard line, and Willie Snead is closing in on 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah, this is nice. This is the same thing again. So you're going to cross the route. First thing you do is you go play action back inside. That draws these people up. Then he comes to the top side. Now on the other side, what you don't see is you're going to see a receiver who's going to have to clear that whole thing out. There he goes underneath. So he's clearing out that area, and Snead fills it with a big pickup.
Gain of 22 on that play. On first down, Breeze with time. Travaris Cadet out of the backfield up to the 49-yard line. A pickup of 9 on the play.
And a great adjustment by Cadet at the end. He has to contort his body to come back, much like we saw Julio Jones do early but didn't make the catch. Cadet does the same thing, is thrown behind and does make the catch.
Drew Brees, what a season. He is completing close to 68% of his passes, and in this game he's 19 for 23.
And those are the numbers that would be at the top of the list in today's football.
Hightower fighting his way across midfield, still going for an extra yard down to the 47 and a first down for the Saints.
It's funny, talking to Sean Payton, you start talking about, he said, we have to be able to run the football. We have to stop their runner. And he said, and then we've got to protect. He said, it's the team that's going to get to 3 Mississippi, not 2.5 Mississippi. That'll be the winner. And so far, this offensive line has been protecting exceptionally well.
Saints on the move. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Breeze fakes, goes short to Brandon Cooks, and he's wrapped up right away. Loss of a couple of yards on the play. Brooks Reed with a good play. 5th-year man out of Arizona.
When they have Adrian Claiborne, talking about the Atlanta Falcons defense, when they have Adrian Claiborne and then Vic Beasley on the other side, that's their best rushing front.
3rd negative play of the game, or rather the 2nd negative play of the game for the Saints. Quick pass down to the 45-yard line, completing it to the tight end Ben Watson.
All right, so now this is exactly where the Falcons wanted to happen. 3rd and long. So you get them 3rd and long, but you have to be cognizant of where the sticks are, because Breeze knows where they're at, as do his receivers. So the question is, in this part of the field, do you match it up with a little man? You go matchup zone, or you just play a straight field zone? We'll find out exactly. Me personally, I'd go matchup zone.
Need 8 yards, 3rd and 8, have to get to the 37 for a first down.
Looks like they're in man.
Breeze with plenty of time. They're waiting, and finally a flag down the field as the pass was thrown wide.
And that was definitely 3 Mississippi.
But prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 20. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So the Falcons make the mistake here.
That was good coverage. But let's count Mississippi when you're a kid. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. When I did it, I was like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. And they told me I was cheating. Of course I was. And then I went to the Raiders, and I was right at home.
Now, what are you saying there,
Nothing.
Matt?
Nothing.
3 penalties for each team. First down, Saints at the Falcons 40. With Austin Johnson in the backfield as the fullback, leading Tim Hightower down to the close to the 35-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play.
What you don't see in the league much anymore are physical fullbacks. In fact, fullbacks, you hardly see them in the league at all. And so when you do have them, you have kind of the new wave kind of fullback, new age rather, where they're kind of just trying to finesse you and getting you to run. But I still like the old school knock you in the nose and bloody you.
Breeze, quick release and complete to Brandon Cooks. Inside the 25, out of bounds at the 23-yard line. And a first down for the Saints.
Sam, you know what always amazes me? When there's a mix-up in coverage, you can see Brandon Cooks on the top side. They're going to run off of him, and they just leave him. That's Trufant, 21. Drew Brees finds him every time. It's amazing how well he sees the field. Trufant's a good player. He had to get depth, but he left that void underneath, and Brees found it.
Cooks is one of those future key players on this team. Second-year man. Oh, it's an option. Cadet throws it, and it's batted away. Good defensive play by Charles Godfrey, the safety. Cadet was a high school quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, and he threw it like a high school quarterback. Because if he'd have thrown it like Drew Brees, it would have been a completion. But I want you to watch Godfrey at the top of your screen up top. Now he sees it. See, stay deep as the deepest. That is an outstanding defensive play. Actually, the difference between a good play and a great play would have been a pick. That would have been the difference. He made a good play there. He could have been a great play.
2nd and 10. As the Saints try to change it up with Travaris Cadet, who's still in the backfield with Drew Brees. Brees looking, plenty of time, throwing. Oh, Watson couldn't hold on. Boy, as Brees gunned that ball in there, Watson just couldn't hold on.
And he had time because I want you to watch Cadet number 38. Now he knows exactly where the pressure is, and he just drills Vic Beasley, and that allows the time to be able to throw. And then another good play on the back end, which sets up this big third down.
Kamal Ishmael with the coverage on Ben Watson. Pass a little behind Watson as he reached back for it. 3rd and 10 for the Saints.
Oh yeah, Beasley felt everything from Cadet. Now he stuck his face right in his chest. That's old school.
11th play of the drive for the Saints. Hightower in the backfield. Fake to draw. Brees throws too high for Brandon Cooks.
Good coverage. Good coverage.
Trufant on the coverage.
Yeah, Trufant right on top of it. Good defense. That's a good defensive series. They did have an 11-play drive, but at the end, when they have to be able to finish the drive, the difference between that is Trufant with great coverage. You see how Cooks tried to manipulate him at the end of the top of his route, and he wasn't able to do it because Trufant held true to the inside and didn't give it up.
To the sideline, sitting down is Beasley. Kai Forbath, 41-yard field goal try to tie the game, and it's good. Saints march down the field. Beasley being checked out by the medical team. The game is tied. Good look behind Devin Hester as he waits for Kai Forbath to kick it off.
Sam, one of the things that Dan Quinn said that he needed from Hester was a big play in the kicking game, which is why they have him in here right now. Now, the Saints know it too, so they'll try to kick it out of the end zone.
Low line drive.
So much for that.
Rolls. The Hester takes it on the big bounce. Little cutback, little lane, and a return up to the 27-yard line. 26-yard return. Falcons on offense in a tie game.
This game is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history.
We're back at the Georgia Dome. Only one more year in the Georgia Dome for the Falcons after this. And then the beautiful new Mercedes-Benz Stadium going up across the street will be open for the 2017 season. Falcons from the 27. Bryant wants to go up with it. Julio Jones with a grab up to the 40-yard line. His 6th catch of the game.
And he's getting up a little slow. And he's going to hop off the field.
That ankle could be bothering him.
He's going to break inside 10. He's going to break outside. The ball's got to be on the money as it is. Again, he got 3 Mississippi, so he had time to be able to make that throw. But Julio Jones, he got a flat tire.
20-yard pickup gives him over 1,800 yards receiving, 1,815 yards receiving. That is the third highest single-season total in NFL history. Freeman with a short pickup. We get a game break and an update from L.A. with Mike Hill. Mike.
Hey, guys, you were talking about Julio Jones. Falcons know what it's like to have a great wide receiver. So do the Bengals. A.J. Green is that wide receiver from A.J. McCarron, 5-yard score, his 10th touchdown of the season, making it 14-9 Bengals. Bengals win, and the Broncos lost, and Cincinnati has a first-round bye for the first time since '88.
All right, certainly the Bengals would love a first-round bye. Maybe Andy Dalton somehow makes his way back. From the 43. Freeman turning corner and gets up to the 48-yard line, making the 47. Gain of 5 on the play. Bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Falcons.
Julio Jones.
Julio right back out there.
Hobbling back in.
You know what I loved what he said to us, Matt, on Friday when he said, I want my team to ask more of me.
Yeah. And they do. And they can. And they will. And so he's one of those guys, not a big ego. He's a good worker. And he's got great toughness. And now would be a time to be able to throw it to him.
Ryan gets time, throws short to Julio Jones. He went down, he gets up, got a couple of extra yards down to the 46 and a first down.
Sam, even with a bad tire, now he's going to run and back out. He's going to come right back out. And so that's a tough route to be able to run. He's one of the best route running receivers in the National Football League. And so when you watch him, you watch how he sinks his hips, gets in and out of his breaks. He does it well, even with a bad ankle.
Ryan again gets time, goes short to Freeman inside the 40. There's a flag on the play.
It's interesting. So the Saints are not going to let Julio Jones get deep. So they're keeping a safety on top of him. So they counter by running crossing routes. That's why you see him running a lot of crossing
12 men
routes.
on the field against the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
All right. You heard the call from Craig Rolstad.
You're going to watch Kikaha, number 44. He doesn't quite get off the field in time. And that's Matt Ryan. So that's on Matt. So he gets that he gets the snap count done and is able to pick up a simple 5 and keep your first down in your back pocket.
1st and 5 at the 41. Freeman. Good haul for Devontae Freeman. First down at the 31-yard line. DeMarco led him around the left side.
Yeah, really nicely done here by Patrick DeMarco, number 42, who's an alternate for the Pro Bowl. This is what he does very well. He'll get you running. Not a real physical guy, but he'll stay on you and very effective. Freeman takes advantage, picks up a first.
Gain 10 on the play.
Let's go, Jersey!
Ryan checks off. Freeman 20 carries, 69 yards. Off the play fake. Ryan tried to get it to Toilolo, but threw it behind him. Got pressure from Cameron Jordan on the play.
And they also picked up the deep crosser, which is in the first half we said they're going to have an answer for it. Well, they did that time. And so Ryan's counter to taking away the deep cross is the tight end back underneath who slips out slowly. He threw it behind him. Toilolo couldn't make the catch.
Jordan was limping a little bit after the play. 2nd and 10 for the Falcons. 3 wide receivers all come to the right. Roddy White, Justin Hardy, and Julio Jones. Short drop. Ryan trying to get it to Hardy, incomplete. Peter Schrager down on the sideline. What do you have?
Yes, Sam, you know, the 2 promising spots on this defense have been Delvin Breaux, the cornerback, and Stephon Anthony, the linebacker, 2 rookies. They're both questionable to return. Breaux, it's an ankle, and Anthony, it's a heel. That'd be big losses, especially when you're trying to shut down number 11, Julio Jones.
2 outstanding young defensive players who are the future of these New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, and Breaux, I think Breaux's terrific. I think he's going to be a really good player. And, you know, they're going to try to slow down Julio Jones, who's in right now at the top of your screen, sitting up top here. but he's got himself an ankle also.
DeMarco with, sorry, Matt.
Too much cushion in between.
DeMarco in the backfield with Ryan. They pick up the blitz. Ryan throws, completes to Justin Hardy. First down at the 15-yard line.
Well done. Again, go back to 3 Mississippi. Lots of time to be able to throw. And then find the hole in the zone. And that's all they're going to do is sit down. So here's the zone. There's the hole. You got your defender still dropping, and your underneath defender, he's pulled up because there's somebody underneath that makes him bite. You can't bite on 3rd and long. Just keep on getting depth.
Ryan 20 for 29, 259 yards. Freeman behind DeMarco, cuts it back. The race is on. He hopped over one man, gets down to the 9-yard line. Look at Freeman, great moves.
He got a little bit of Barry Sanders / Marshall Faulk in him. Yeah, you're going one way, but you got to defend the whole thing. DeMarco's going to come up here, and really, there's really nobody to block, but there's a hole to the backside, and so he takes that. He's got great vision.
2nd and 4 at the 9-yard line. Ryan steps back, readjusts, shifts Roddy White from left to right.
Plenty of time.
Toss to Freeman. Trying to turn the corner. Good job by the Saints. Brandon Browner was able to take Devontae Freeman out of bounds.
Yeah, one thing with Brandon Browner, if you're going to block him, you better bring your A game, because that is one tough sucker. Yeah, he's got a lot of penalties on him this year. Yep. He has like 24 or something like that.
Yes.
But let me tell you, he's a tough guy. He's a physical guy.
Of the 3rd quarter.
And this is the end of the 3rd quarter.
More to come. Don't want to miss what Matt has to say. This is a good game. Tied at 17, end of the 3rd quarter. We are back at the Georgia Dome, where the Atlanta Falcons have the ball at the 9-yard line.
One thing they've done good. Yeah, one thing they've done well so far, Sam, has protected the ball, which has been an emphasis here in Atlanta.
3rd and 4. Ryan rolls and throws and completes to Justin Hardy. He's got a first down.
1st and goal.
Kenny Vaccaro on the tackle.
Dan Quinn very aware of turnovers in football games, and turnovers can be the biggest deal. And in their stretch where they flopped in those games, it was turnovers that really killed them. So he's been emphasizing it the whole time.
It cost him the game against New Orleans the first time.
Exactly.
1st and goal. Freeman taking it outside, spins, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. And speaking of which, saying that they got the ball.
He was down.
Freeman's pointing to the ground,
but I don't see an official pointing to the ground saying down by contact. Let's see. There's the spin. Ball still in. Ooh, that's out. That's a fumble. His knee was not down, nor was his forearm.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by New Orleans. First down.
Wow, we just jinxed him.
That left knee might have been down, Matt.
Ooh, I don't know. Let's look at it.
We'll see it when we come back.
Today's game is sponsored by Nissan. Innovation that excites. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's still finger-licking good.
You're watching Fox. Devontae Freeman, first turnover of the game as he fumbled the ball at the 4-yard line. John Jenkins, the defensive tackle, popped it loose.
Yeah, but Sam, we put the ooga booga on him.
You think so?
Good. Yeah.
We did it. Talking about turnovers and how costly they've been, it is confirmed. And the Saints have the ball. First down at the 4-yard line. Their own 4. Out of the end zone. Breeze with time. Up top. Too far for Brandon Coleman. He was covered by Robert Alford on the play. Let's get Mike Pereira's view of things back in the Situation Room in Los Angeles. Mike.
I'll tell you, you know what's amazing? That was a tight play. The ball came out just before the knee hit the ground. And I'll tell you, on the field, in the middle of players like that, that's a tough one to call. That's a tough one, but they did a great job of getting the ball, seeing the ball come out just before the knee hit. Great job of officiating.
Yeah, I think, Mike, that's because they were listening to the broadcast. That's my own personal opinion.
Let's give credit to John Jenkins, who popped it loose and recovered. Forced fumble and a recovery for John Jenkins. That pass is a catch by Coleman at the 17-yard line.
Sam, the difference in that play was the height of Coleman, because he was undercut. Really well done here by Brooks Reed. Watch him. He's undercutting him. He knows where it's at. That ball's got to be high, and it was. Nicely thrown ball by Breeze, and the height of Coleman makes the difference.
Coleman had the receiving records at Rutgers up until this year. He's been surpassed. And he's not interested in those records anymore as he tries to establish himself with the Saints. All receivers out. That pass complete to Ben Watson, the tight end, up to the 24. Update from Mike Hill in L.A. Mike.
6th seed up for grab in the AFC. We got some important field goals first in Cleveland. It's Chris Boswell giving the Steelers a 17-9 lead with the field goal in the third. And then in Buffalo, Dan Carpenter's 37-yarder gives the Bills a 19-10 lead over the Jets. If this holds up, the Jets are out. Steelers are in the playoffs. Sam, Matt, back to you.
Man, how about that? On the first down carry, it's Hightower up to the 28-yard line. Here's the AFC playoff picture. Patriots have won their division. They have a bye. If they win today, they clinch home field all the way through.
So here's the fight right here. These two right here.
Don't forget the Broncos need a win.
Yeah, they do. Texans are up right now, so it looks like they're going to be in. Bill O'Brien's done a great job down there in Houston.
Breeze with time goes short to Kaomanauanui. Illinois Mike. And the NFC picture, all these teams are in tonight. Minnesota plays Green Bay for the NFC North division title.
And where that's in Minnesota?
In Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay.
Arizona, if they win and Carolina loses, Arizona would get home field throughout. So there's still things to be won. Travaris Cadet is in the game as they go empty backfield. Breeze throwing deep for Snead, and it's broken up. Good play by Robert Alford's had a good game. You picked that up early, man.
Yeah, that's really nice. And he's going to hang to the outside, but then watch him affect the ball at the end. Get on your horse, run to the top shoulder. Now the ball's in the air. Play the ball. Watch this. Really well done. Nicely done, Alford. Love to see good defense. That was a nice throw by Breeze, but it sets up this third down. And so I think when you're playing the Saints with Drew Brees, you got to create small windows, and so I would go with some man coverage here.
Cadet in the backfield with Breeze.
And they're doing just that.
All receivers out. Breeze throws to Willie Snead, and a first down up at the 45-yard line. He came right back to him.
And here's why. So what you're going to see is you're going to see no man-to-man here, nothing to the inside. So you get Alford to back off a little bit, and then you just leverage him. And what I mean by that is get him to his side. So you want to be able to get that defender to your top side hip, and Breeze will throw into the small window. Snead did it very well.
Breeze 26 for 34, 265 yards. The play fake. Hightower was hit. Wasn't a fake. He took the handoff and got hit immediately by Jonathan Babineau.
Yeah, somebody forgot to block Babineau to the inside, or he took a quick move. Let's take a peek. And watch Babineau to the inside. Yeah, Jerry Evans looked like it was, I don't know what he was doing. He just kind of let him go. He opened up the gate, and Babineau took advantage of it, sets up second and long.
Third play for negative yardage in the game for the Saints. Loss of 5. Second and 15. Travaris Cadet in the game. He shifts to the backfield with Breeze. All receivers out. Breeze rush, throws, completes to Brandon Cooks. And they have him surrounded. He stays on his feet and is pulled out of bounds by Desmond Trufant.
That was excellent by Trufant. And here's why. If he doesn't come, Cooks is still running. They did not do a good job of corralling right here. They came inside, they missed him. Now part of it's Cooks. There's three guys miss him, and Trufant with great hustle comes from inside out and makes the play and sets up 3rd and 11.
Crowd has been into this game from the outset. This rivalry has been special. Breeze with time connects to Coleman at the 35-yard line. Brandon Coleman, that lanky receiver, tall, 6'6", 225.
Comes in two ways. First, you better protect. And so you got your Mississippis down. And then you have to find the hole in the zone. And he does just that. That backer needs to get more depth. Who cares about anything underneath? It doesn't matter. You rally to that. But you can't let somebody behind you, and that's what he does. And now his job, they're going to get on top of him, but you need to squeeze that.
Great numbers for Drew Brees. 6th play of the game for the Saints of over 20 yards. On 1st down, Brees completes to Coleman again. A little stiff arm, and he gets down to the 23-yard line. Trufant took him down, but Coleman, it's interesting when we talk to Drew Brees, he says to us, you never know who's going to be my key guy, and all of a sudden, today it's Brandon Coleman.
And that's one of the great strengths of Drew Brees, is his ability to see the whole field, make quick decisions. He really does not care who he's throwing it to. What he cares about is he open? And right now, Coleman is having his way with his zone. And so he's sitting and finding the holes, and Breeze is finding him.
12th play of the drive for the Saints. It began back at the 4-yard line. Here's Hightower. Slip one man, gets inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. Well, these offenses have been good moving the ball, both offenses.
Or has it been these defenses who haven't been stopping?
Well, you're the defensive expert. I'll defer to you.
Well, you know, I think it's we got two outstanding quarterbacks, and you have an outstanding play caller in Sean Payton.
On 2nd and 6. Breeze going short to Ben Watson. Stood up at the 14-yard line. Going to be about a yard short of the 1st down marker. You know, Jamal Ishmael on the stop.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan's no slouch either, calling the plays on the other side of the field. But it's going to be 3rd and short. And so now, all that drive, all those 13 plays or whatever it is, none of that matters. This matters right here. So you have to be able to hold them here, to hold it to at least a field goal. If Atlanta does that, that's a win.
3rd and 1. Hightower in the backfield. 3 tight ends in. Hightower, 1st down. He went to the left side. There were 2 tight ends on that side.
Yeah, I used to talk to John Riggins about this. He'd say, man, all you have to do is run to where they ain't. And this is exactly what he does. You see Justin Durant, 52, filled the hole to the inside. See that? And so what he does is he jumps to the outside. So good linebackers, usually old running backs that couldn't make it. They're seeing the same things. Hightower, though, can get to the outside, and the backer couldn't, and Durant.
Cadet in the backfield with Breeze. 1st and 10 at the 12. All receivers out. Breeze goes short to Cadet at the 5 and pulled down at the 3-yard line.
All right, so now this goes back to Cadet's routes earlier. This is called an arrow route. And so what they're going to do, you remember early in the game, they leveraged him. The backer came in and came back inside, and he beat him. And this time he's going to come out, back in, and then back out. It's called an arrow.
Hurry up offense. And it's Cadet again.
Ball comes out. And the Falcons have it. Oh, how about that?
First the Saints did it on the other end in the field inside the 5, and now the Falcons do it inside the 5. At the 2-yard line, the Falcons recover.
Wow.
They trade turnovers. The ruling on the field is fumble. It's being reviewed, and this is close. Is there enough evidence to overturn it? Mike Pereira, what do you think?
You know, you're looking and focusing on that left knee and the forearm. The problem is you never get a clear look at the ball,
right,
where it is coming loose.
This is the best shot we have.
I just don't think you can. Yeah, and can you see the ball come loose when that knee's down? Boy, I'll tell you, it's really tight. It's one of those against rule fumble. I think if I'm under the hood, I probably stay with it.
Yeah.
Just because you don't get the best of shots, you know.
And that's the best shot we got right there, Mike. So you can see the knee. You don't know if the ball right there, if it's starting to move. The knee comes down.
That's the key.
After the ruling on the field stands as called. It'll be first down Atlanta.
Thank you, Michael.
Well, not enough evidence to overturn. That's when a call stands.
And the right call. And it looked like Paul Warlow is the guy who hit him initially. And he tried to squeeze through that thing. And then, you know, he lost it as he was coming out.
So each team with a turnover just as they were about to score a touchdown. The Falcons have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 1-yard line.
See if they can go 99.
Ryan puts it up short, completes it. DeMarco, the fullback, gets up to the 8-yard line. The Saints had gone 15 plays, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 58 seconds from their own 4.
And 94 yards.
And they fumbled down at the 2-yard line. 7-yard pickup on 1st down for DeMarco on the pass.
For Sean Payton, this is probably like an 8 juicy fruit game.
Oh, man.
8 or 9 of them today.
Matt Ryan getting up toward 300 yards passing for the game. 2 backs, DeMarco the fullback, Freeman the tailback. Again the play fake. Ryan with time, puts it up and completes it to Julio Jones with a flag on the play.
Brian Dixon's right in the middle of that, and there was some bumping going on. Watch Dixon stay to the outside. Now there's a little juggling, but Jones ooh, did he have it? Did he have control?
Pass interference, defense number 20. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
They've spotted it up at the 37. Either way, it would be an advancement of the ball for the Falcons. It's a 29-yard gain.
I would snap this as quick as I can because maybe it's a good call regardless.
Here's Freeman cutting it back.
Nice cut.
Up to the 39-yard line, couple of yards on the play.
Let's watch the feet and the process. Remember, the process has to be, you have to catch the ball and control the ball all the way through. Still not a catch, not a catch, not a catch. Catch. 1-2. Excellent job. Great job of officiating on top of that.
4 plays of over 20 yards in the game for the Falcons. 2 tight ends in, Tammy and Toilolo. The play fake, Ryan again. He's got Julio Jones, and he's brought down at the 35. Catch number 9 for Julio Jones in the game.
Sam, great players make big plays at critical times. And here's what's great about them. The whole stadium knows he can make the play. He's the guy they have to go to, and they still come up with it.
They're taking advantage of Brian Dixon, who's in for Delvin Breaux.
Well, that's called smart coaching. And Julio Jones knows, keep feeding him.
27 yards on that pickup. Ryan checking off, letting everybody know what the play is. First down at the Saints 35. It's Freeman. It's a yard on the play. Almost juggled the ball, almost lost it, but was able to hold on. Time winding down.
It's interesting. We were talking to Kyle Shanahan and their losing streak. I said, Kyle, what were you doing? He said, that was the question. We didn't know who we were. He said, we'd come out and say, who the heck are we?
Lost their identity.
They lost their identity. And so now they got it back, and they know that the balance is the way to go.
All receivers out. Ryan being rushed. The ball tipped, falls incomplete. Time for an update. Here's Kurt Menefee.
All right, the only playoff spot still up for grabs is still in question. The Jets are losing at at Buffalo, despite the Eric Decker touchdown. It's 19-17 in the fourth. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh is winning against Cleveland. Sam and Matt.
Good games.
Oh, yeah.
And still a lot of time in that game in Buffalo.
You know what I love about those games now? So Buffalo has nothing to play for except for one thing. The best thing. Pride. I love it.
Trying to get to 500. 8 for 11 on third down, so the Falcons. Here's 3rd and 9. And the completion to Justin Hardy. It's going to be short of the first down, but a flag comes in late.
Oh, man.
And this could be against the Saints again.
They've beaten themselves.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 67.
Wow.
The 15-yard penalty, the down will count. It is 4th down.
Levitre, the left guard.
Levitre's going to go to try to help his runner.
You got it right?
Yeah, he must have hit somebody. I didn't get to see it.
Levitre took his team out of field goal range.
Yes, he did. That's a monster penalty. Monster. Don't beat yourself. We've seen that from both teams today. They've hurt themselves with the flags.
So it is punt number 2 in the game for the Atlanta Falcons. Jarvis Bird is back at the 10-yard line as Bosher puts it up high and short. Good punt. Bird with a fair catch at the 14-yard line. Saints have the ball in the tie game.
This game is sponsored by Domino's. Order online and track your order.
Saints fans trying to root on their man, Drew Brees, who's passed for 316 yards in the game, 31 for 39.
He's been here before.
With time, open man is Coleman, he dropped it. Oh, he had it, turned to run, and it just slipped out of his hands.
Watch the ball in. He does that, but he forgets to hold on to it. That's brutal. Now let's see if Brees doesn't come back to the rook to try to get it right back in his hands. Give him a little confidence.
Ball's at the 14-yard line with the game tied. And both teams have their full complement of timeouts. There's that drop. That would have been a big gainer for the Saints.
He might still be running. Timeout.
Timeout, New Orleans. The game tied at 17. What'd you say before? He's been here before,
He's been here before, and here he comes again. Thing you love about Brees, no situation is too big for him.
2nd and 10. Brees gets time, goes short to Ben Watson at the 20-yard line.
3rd and 3.
Give him a spot up at the 21.
3rd and 3. So here we go. Atlanta. Same thing. Now's the down. This is the biggest down of the game. And so 3rd and 3, that's going to dictate the tight coverage. So you're going to go a little bit of man. So expect to see New Orleans counter with either stacks or bunch or some motions. That allows the offense to gain some room before they run their routes.
We've reached a 2-minute warning. Saints and Falcons in a good one. It's the final game of the regular season for the Saints and Falcons, but you couldn't tell it by the way they're playing. You'd think they'd be playing for the playoffs. They have battled from the opening kickoff. They want a good feeling going into the offseason and a springboard towards next season. 3rd and 3 for the Saints.
Here's the tight coverage. Here's the motion.
Breeze being rushed, throws it up for Watson, incomplete.
Great coverage.
Covered by Akeem King.
Nicely done by Akeem King. Nice tight coverage all the way around. It's exactly what you had to do. And so there was the attempt right there. Remember I said you're going to look for picks. And so they were going to try to pick him with Wheaton. It didn't happen. He ran underneath it. King did a great job and made a defense of the ball. Brandon Cooks, I'm sorry.
Morstead with a high kick. Devin Hester on the fair catch. And the Falcons take over at the 23.
Biggest play of the game, so you take Ben Watson, you put him in motion. The reason you do that is to define who's defending him. So once they have that, then he comes back out. Why is that important? Cook's sitting up here. His eyeballs are on King. His job is to pick him. Just get in his way. He can't quite get it done because King does a nice job of running back underneath, and that's the difference in the play. Great defense.
From the 24, Falcons have all 3 timeouts remaining. Ryan with time, and it's intercepted. Jamarcus Sanford, the safety, stepped in front of the intended receiver and picked it off. It's a first down for the Saints at the Falcons 25.
That's all on Sanford, Sam. All on Sanford. They tried to sneak Freeman inside of him, but Sanford had nobody to threaten him outside. And because of the non-threat, he collapses inside really quickly, right there. Anticipates it. Nobody on the outside to hold him, and so he jumps the inside, and it's a big pick. I mean, that's a monster. Play of the game.
The Saints have had only 8 interceptions all season long coming into this game. And Jamarcus Sanford with his first of the season. What a play.
Normally when you're setting out routes, you have people, your guys are running different routes to affect the defense. That time they were not able to affect Sanford on the outside, and so he's able to collapse and make the jump on that ball.
And for Matt Ryan, interceptions have been a big bugaboo. That's the 16th interception he's thrown this season. Saints at the 25. They have 2 timeouts remaining, but they are already in field goal position.
They have to hold him to a field goal here.
Hightower. It's 5 hard yards down to the 20-yard line.
And you need time, so you got to use the clock. Timeout.
Falcons have all of their timeouts, and they use one at the 20-yard line. The interception hurts the Falcons.
Here's the defense right here. He's man-to-man on the outside, but they're keeping Humbert to the inside. So he's going to go cross, he clears. And so he jumps outside because he doesn't want to get leverage. Watch, he's going to jump outside, give the inside up. That's where Humbert comes back, and he's able to come back inside and make the pick. Great defensive call.
Hightower on 2nd down. Gets down to the 17-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and 2, another timeout for Atlanta. They have 1 timeout remaining, and this brings up a huge 3rd and 2 now.
Yeah, and so again, the whole game doesn't mean anything. All that matters right now for this Atlanta defense is they've got to stop them here and hold it to 3 points. That's the only chance they have, is to hold it to 3.
Coaches looking. Dan Quinn looking for a defensive stop. He's the defensive guru. Sean Payton is the offensive guru, checking his chart for the play he needs for a first down.
Play an 8-man front, and he's going to pitch. He's got it.
He's got plenty of room and a first down inside the 10.
Good call. Good call.
Time for an update. Mike Hill.
All right, America's Game of the Week coming up next. A great one, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks coming off that loss against the Rams, against MVP candidate Carson Palmer. And the Cards, of course, Cards still have a shot at home field in the NFC with a win, and the Carolina loss. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mike. Saints needed 2. They got 9 down to the 8-yard line. Senio Kelemete, who's playing in place of the injured Teron Armstead, led him around the corner.
And so what did they do? The reason they did it. Okay, so they loaded the box. They had the 8-man. They were going to bring pressure. And so what do? You run away from the pressure. You run away from the inside. He gets to the outside. Kelemete makes the block, and he gets 9 yards.
Saints use a timeout. Each team with 1 timeout remaining, 43 seconds left in a game that has no meaning other than for pride, but you're seeing a lot of pride on the field in this game today.
It's the good pride. It's not the pride and arrogance and the evil way I hate, saith the Lord. It's not that pride. It's great athletic pride and competitive pride. And that's what you love to see. And so oftentimes you'll see a game like this and fans will come away from it saying, nah, they quit. There's no quit here. This has been a greatly contested, highly competitive game right down to the end. Not over yet, my friend.
Taking a knee, taking no chances was Drew Brees. They already fumbled inside the 5-yard line, so no chances taken there. Timeout called. Atlanta is out of timeouts with 41 seconds remaining, and the Saints will send Kai Forbath on the field to try to give them the lead.
Well, we've had basically a mirror image game from each team. And so you've had good running by Hightower and Freeman. You had good throwing by Ryan and Breeze. You've had receiving on both sides. You've had, average defense at best, but they came up with big plays. You had the penalties, you had the turnovers. The one thing different is one had a block kick, and we'll see if they can duplicate it here.
Saints still have 1 timeout remaining, so they'll run a play here. And again, Drew Brees moves into the center of the field, rolls down onto the artificial turf, and the clock will run down.
And they'll stop it at 3 seconds. And then all the clamoring can start on what Sean Payton and Drew Brees are going to do.
That's right. We'll know more about Sean Payton tomorrow. There's meetings they're talking about. Mickey Loomis, the general manager, one story said he'll give Sean Payton permission to talk to other teams. What will Drew Brees do? He's got a $30 million cap hit for next season.
They have to do something with that. There's no question about that. But I just think, look, you can't find what Sean Payton does. They're hard to find. And so I would think long and hard before I let him walk.
Well, if that's the end of the era of Brees and Payton, it has been a marvelous era in New Orleans. It has put them on the map as a football team.
And it's been a treat. If in fact that happens, it was a treat to watch because it doesn't happen very often.
Kai Forbath is on the field. The long snapper is Justin Drescher. The holder is Thomas Morstead. It's a 30-yard field goal straight away. For the win. Saints win it. The Saints win it 20-17. They end the season with 2 wins and a 7-9 record. Sean Payton with congratulations all around as the Saints beat the Falcons. 5 lead changes in the game. Now let's go to LA for the Game Break Show.